Greetings, welcome, and thank you for clicking. I'm Christian of Standing Stones Healing Company, encouraging your journey with Reiki, card reading, and coaching for life's changes, challenges, and transitions. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Ask the Stones, offering spiritual guidance and encouragement for life's challenging questions. Welcome, and thank you for joining me for this week's episode of Ask the Stones. This week's question comes from Priya. I fell in love with a married man and didn't know this when I first met him. When I found out, he told me he was forced into an arranged marriage, but separated and seeking a divorce. It's such a taboo in India, he hadn't told his friends. But then his wife got pregnant, so now he can't leave her, as it would be awful for both of them and their families. I saw into his soul, past all of his lies and disrespect to me. He is a wonderful person with so much potential, but I see now I had to let go. That is a major lesson for me, and also realizing my worth. I haven't told anyone about him because he was married and I was afraid of being judged. It's been incredibly hard dealing with all this on the quiet. What can I do? Well, Priya, thank you for this question. And I want to say that I am sorry for your heartbreak, which of course is something that you are dealing with during the course of all of this pain, and for dealing with it alone. I think one of the things that makes heartbreak easier to manage is having support. So supportive friends, supportive family members, people who you can talk to about the experience, people who can tell you, yeah, you're better than that, girl. And you haven't had any of that. You've been keeping this all to yourself. And so I want to say that I'm sorry for you're feeling the need to carry this burden alone without support. I see in your question that you are, or I should say have realized, I was going to say you are realizing, but you have realized that letting go is really what needs to happen in this instance. And yeah, I agree with you on that for sure. I'll talk more about that, but this is really important. You know, the fact that you're asking the question, what can you do to deal with it? What can you do to let go? Is really important, because you're not saying, Christian, what can I do to get this guy back? So that tells me that you realize that, yes, this is not a situation that is in your best interest. And quite frankly, point blank, it is not in your best interest. Definitely, this is the kind of situation that isn't easy to navigate. And it's definitely the kind of situation where we might have feelings of shame or guilt. And so I can certainly understand your hesitancy to talk about it and your desire to keep it to yourself. And I think that it is very brave of you to ask this question and to bring it up. Now, of course, Priya is not Priya's name, everyone. But even though the questions are completely anonymous, it is often still very hard to ask questions and seek encouragement, even when it is anonymous. And so, Priya, I say thank you for this question and your willingness to ask your question. So thank you for that bravery, as I know it will help not only yourself, but others too. So thank you, Priya. So, Priya, I do certainly have some recommendations for you for really mending a broken heart. That's really what's happening here when you get right down to the bottom of it. Yes, there are challenges with realizing your self-worth. Yes, that is important. Yes, that is a piece of this. But even without that, when you strip everything else away, really it is about mending a broken heart. And I do have some recommendations for you on that. Though I would like to say a few things about this idea of realizing your self-worth and letting go and really realizing that this situation was not in your best interest because you deserve better. Priya, you absolutely deserve better than a man who lies and disrespects you. You say that loud and clear, that he lied to you and he disrespected you. You saw into his soul and past all of that. You were able to see that he was a wonderful person with potential. That is wonderful for you. And the truth is that everyone has potential. We all have at our core beautiful souls. We all do things that are not nice and that are not good to do to others, like lying and disrespect. And of course, you could see past anyone's lies and disrespect and see into the beauty of their soul and to see that they are wonderful and that they have potential. This is true of anyone. And it doesn't mean that you have to be in a relationship with that person. So just because you can see past the ways that they hurt you, the ways that they mistreat you, doesn't mean that you have to accept that behavior. And it doesn't mean that you have to be treated that way and to engage in that treatment of you. So Priya, I want to make a distinction here between recognizing that someone has great potential and recognizing that this is someone you want to be with and that you are okay with the lies and the disrespect. So we can say that, oh, this is a wonderful person. I can see their potential. I can see that they really do have a good soul. And we can say, and also, I deserve to be treated better. So these are not mutually exclusive. What I'm saying, Priya, is that you can see someone's potential and see that they, at their core, are a good person and that they really can be a good person, while at the same time not accepting their behavior towards you and not agreeing to it. So you can say, yes, I appreciate you as a human being. I honor you. I honor the light in you. And I deserve better than the lies and the disrespect. And I choose not to be in a relationship with this kind of person. So you can still see the beauty in someone while recognizing that you deserve to be treated better. So Priya, I want to say very clearly, you deserve better. Whether he is wonderful or not, whether he has a beautiful soul or not, sure, of course he does. We all have beautiful souls at our cores. And you deserve better. You are worthy of someone who loves you and only you. You are worthy of someone who does not lie to you and does not disrespect you and wants to be with you and only you, Priya. You are worthy of that. You know, I think that when we are in this kind of situation of being involved with someone who is in another relationship, who is married, or otherwise in a relationship, we oftentimes will have a lot of hope that the other relationship will end and that we'll get to be with that person. And sometimes that does happen. And I really believe that, Priya, if you want to be with someone as the sole person in the relationship that they are having a relationship with, then I think that it's very important to make sure that you are honoring that. And so what I'm saying is that if you find yourself in a relationship with someone who's in a relationship and they're not leaving that relationship for you, you deserve better. As a matter of fact, Priya, the fact that his wife got pregnant while he was seeing you suggests to me that you were not his sole priority in terms of a relationship. And you deserve that. Now, I want to throw in a caveat here, everyone. If you are in an open relationship, one in which you are free and able to see other people, that's okay. I have no judgment of that whatsoever. As long as everyone agrees to it, everyone is aware, everyone is happy with it, and everyone is fulfilled by the relationship. Okay? So I'm not saying open relationships are bad. But I'm getting the impression here, Priya, that that's not what you want. You don't want your partner to be married to someone else. And you, in not wanting that, you deserve to be the only person in the relationship. And so the fact that he ended up getting his wife pregnant, all the while saying that they were separated and getting a divorce, tells me that you were not number one. And you deserve to be. You deserve, if this is your heart's desire, you deserve to be the one and only in a relationship. And if this is the case, I really want to encourage you to honor that for yourself, to honor that desire and to know that you are worthy of that desire. You know, I have to say, Priya, that I actually was the other man once. And so I can understand how you might get into a situation in which you meet someone and you are very enamored of that person and very hopeful that the relationship will end and that you'll be able to be together. This, for me, was something that happened, at this point, it's been almost 20 years. I want to say 18 years, 17 years. I don't know. I'd have to do the math. It's been quite a while. And when it happened beforehand, this was something that I never, ever thought that I would do. That I never, ever thought I would be the other man. And it was not something that I ever thought that I would do. And it's not something that I'm proud of. At the same time, I justified my behavior by saying, well, I'm not the one cheating. I never have cheated, and that is a hard line for me. I never would. But for me, in my mind, I thought, well, I'm not the one cheating. And so I'm not the bad person in all of this. She's the one who has the partner. She's the one with the boyfriend. And so I justified that. But the fact is that it wasn't fair. It wasn't fair to me, and it wasn't fair to the boyfriend she already had. And so, I really felt that, well, but this is, it was one of those meetings where it's like you meet the person and it's like immediately like love at first sight kind of thing. So, I don't know, maybe we were together in a past life, maybe we knew one another. I don't know that, but I do know that it was like instant attraction, instant like fireworks as soon as I met her. And so, in my mind, it was the kind of thing where it's like, well, but no, this has to work out because I feel so strongly about her. And no, she's going to leave him and it's going to work out. And here I was hanging on hope. All the while she's lying to him, and actually, quite frankly, she was lying to me too. So yeah, I know what that's like as well, Priya. But I can say that I am grateful to say that it did not work out, because I believe that if someone is going to cheat with you, they would cheat on you. And so if he is the kind of person who is cheating on his wife with you, if you were together, the chances are that he may very well have cheated on you. Now, you might say, no, it's different. It's different with me. I'm different. Well, I probably, when his wife married him, she probably thought the same thing. Now, this is an arranged marriage, so I think it's important to note that. I am not going to pretend to be an expert on the intricacies of Indian culture. I am not. But no matter what culture, no matter what country, no matter what language, you, Priya, deserve love. You, Priya, deserve to be the only one in the relationship. You, Priya, deserve honesty, and you deserve respect. And as wonderful as this guy is, as much potential as he has, he was not being any of those things. He was not being honest. He was not being respectful. He was disrespecting his wife, arranged marriage or not. It's important for us to be honest in our intimate relationships, in all of our relationships, but especially our intimate relationships. If you were the one that he really wanted to be with, and he was separated from his wife, then he shouldn't have gotten her pregnant. And he should have been making real moves to actually leave that relationship. Priya, you deserve someone who, in that situation, would be open, would be honest, would be truthful, and would be with you. Would end the marriage and be with you. And you know what, Priya? For my experience, 18 years ago, I deserved that too. Anyone in that situation does. And if you find yourself in this kind of situation, you deserve honesty, you deserve respect, you deserve to be number one. And if someone is not honoring that, not honoring the person who they are already with and being open and honest with them, then I want to encourage you to really consider whether or not this is the right person for you. I'm not going to say, no, it isn't, but I'm very close to saying, no, it isn't. Of course, I believe in compassion. I believe in working towards non-judgment. And I believe in respect, openness, honesty, and in honoring one another in our relationships. And so if you are in a relationship with someone and you are seeing someone else, I do believe that it is so crucial to be open and honest about that. It's not fair to the person you're with. It's not fair to the person who you're seeing, and it's not fair to yourself. So Priya, none of that was fair to you. It also was not fair to his wife. I think it's important to honor her in this as well. Arranged marriage or not, it was not fair to her either. So I have to say that I'm very glad that my relationship did not work out, that it was a complicated kind of thing that was actually not so complicated. It was quite simple. I should have just said, no, I'm getting out of this and doing what's best for myself. But the fortunate thing is that I realize that now, and looking back on it now, so many years later, I can be very thankful that it didn't work out. Because if she was dishonest and disrespectful then, people change, absolutely. And the chances are that that kind of behavior would continue while they are with you. And so if they are going to, as I said, cheat with you, then the chances are that they very well could cheat on you. So I agree, Priya, that this is actually a very good thing that this relationship did not work out, because you deserve better. And even if this person was not already married, you deserve someone who is going to be honest and respectful towards you. You deserve all of that, Priya. So now, Priya, what can you do? Well, like I said, it hasn't been easy for you dealing with this on your own. So I think it's important to honor that, to acknowledge that, and recognize that heartbreak is never easy, and getting over a relationship, someone that you love or, cared for, is never easy. And I think it is especially difficult when we don't have people to talk to about it. However, there are ways that if it's not something that you feel comfortable talking about, that you can work through this experience in your own way. I actually do encourage for you, Priya. I have several recommendations, and these all come from my 7-way path. And the 7-way path is a process for helping us to work through and manage our life changes, to not only survive during them, but to also thrive during them, and to help us turn our life changes, transitions, and even challenges into transformative experiences. So I have some recommendations for you, some things that you can do to help you. Now, I will tell you that you are already well on your way. The fact that you are at a point where you realize that you need to let go, that this is a lesson for you, and that part of the challenge in this was realizing your self-worth and recognizing the disrespect that was done to you. That tells me that you are already well on your way. So you are doing it. You are working through it. You are processing. You are moving forward on your journey with this step by step. You truly are making progress. So I want to say well done on that. That's clear from where you are in your question. Like I said, you're not saying, how do I get him back? So good. But there are plenty of things that we can do to help us with this heartbreak process. My first recommendation for you, Priya, is always, always gratitude. I truly believe that gratitude is the number one way for us to really turn any life change, challenge, or transition into a transformative experience, and to really work through the range of emotions and the challenges that are inherent in any life change or challenge. And so, Priya, I want to encourage you first and foremost to have gratitude. Now, I'm not going to tell you what to be thankful for. What you are thankful for from this experience is up to you. Now, if I were you, if it were me personally, I would probably be thankful that it didn't work out. You may not yet be at that point. Now, with my being the other man relationship from years and years ago, I can now be very thankful that that relationship did not work out. I can look back on it and I can think about it, realize all of the ways in which it wasn't healthy, and realize all of the ways in which it would not have been healthy and would have continued to be unhealthy. You may not yet be at that point, and that is okay. So I'm not here to tell you what to be thankful for. That is always a personal choice. It is always up to us personally what we are thankful for and what we give gratitude for. So I want to encourage you, Priya, to sit down with this experience and to write out a list of all of the things that you're thankful for about it. That may include the fact that it didn't work out, or it may not. But whatever that list includes, write it and feel thankful for each of those things. Because gratitude is really, the fact is, gratitude is like a magical potion. Gratitude is going to, scientifically, we know that gratitude does a lot of things for us. It lowers our blood pressure. It improves our mood. It helps with a whole bunch of things like improving sleep and improving energy. So gratitude is like a magic elixir. I encourage drinking often. Let me rephrase. I encourage drinking the magic elixir of gratitude often. You know, it's funny, Priya. Actually, some people would recommend drinking as a way to get over heartbreak. I personally do not recommend that as a way. That comes with its own challenges and oftentimes makes the problem worse rather than better. I don't recommend that. But drinking the magical elixir of gratitude, yes, I do recommend that. So I recommend lots and lots of gratitude in whatever way, shape, or form that means to you, to be thinking on this with gratitude. So put on those gratitude glasses, put on that lens of gratitude, and see this experience, see this situation with gratitude. That's my first recommendation. So write that out. And I'm also going to encourage you to repeat that. So rather than just writing the list out once, you may want to write it out and look at it, hang it somewhere where you can see it. You may want to write out different lists. So write out a new list of gratitude for this experience, this situation, maybe every day or once a week or whatever feels appropriate to you. But Gratitude is most effective when we repeat it, just like with any positive habit. Repeating is really going to be the thing that makes it stick and that makes an impact. So giving gratitude for this situation, and again, whatever that means to you, the gratitude, the things that you are grateful for in this experience are going to be individual and personal to you. So make sure that you are thinking about what you are grateful for in this situation and not what someone else might be grateful for in this situation. Although that might help too, Priya, putting yourself in someone else's shoes and thinking about what someone else might consider in this experience and might take away from it in terms of gratitude. That could be helpful. And as a matter of fact, this has me thinking of another tip I would love to pass along to you that is not part of the 7-way path. It is not one of those steps. However, I think for your situation, especially in which you are dealing with this heartbreak alone, I am going to encourage you to pretend you are a friend. So if you were your friend, Priya, if you had a friend going through this situation, what would you say to that friend? How would you encourage them, lift them up? What would you say to them? Pretend you're a friend. Give yourself the pep talk as though you are your friend. Talk to yourself as though you are talking to your friend. Priya, you know, girl, he just was really not good for you. He didn't respect you. He told you lies. Do you remember that time he did this? Oh yeah, and you do remember the time he did that? Talk to yourself in that way, Priya. How would you talk to a friend? Talk to yourself in that way. What would you say to a friend in this situation? Now, say it to yourself. Because even though you may be dealing with this experience on your own, we always have the ability to give ourselves pep talks. And so don't be afraid to do that. Gosh, you could even look in the mirror and do that if you want to, Priya. But pretend you're a friend and give yourself that pep talk that you wish a friend was giving you or that you wish that you could get. What would a friend say to you? What would you say to a friend in this situation? Say that. Another recommendation I have for you from the 7-way path is ritual. Ritual is transformative. Ritual has true power. Ritual actually changes the brain, and we do know this scientifically as well. But ritual is a signal to ourselves that we are moving, that change is occurring. So I am going to encourage you to conduct a ritual, a letting go ritual, a ritual that signifies the end of this experience for you and signals to yourself, to your subconscious and to your conscious mind as well, that you are ready to let this go, that this experience is over, it is behind you, and you are ready to move on from it. Now, what kind of ritual? This is, just like with gratitude, going to be completely personal to you. Whatever feels right to you, whatever resonates with you. But the ritual is a powerful exercise. So definitely conduct some sort of ritual. It doesn't have to be big and elaborate. When we hear the word ritual, oftentimes we think it's got to be some big thing, but it doesn't have to be. it can be a very simple thing. And when I say simple, I mean like it could take you 10 seconds to do. Whatever it's going to look like to you is all about you. You know, when it comes to moving on from a relationship, some people will burn things. They'll burn letters. They'll burn photos. That can be powerful, but you don't have to do that. You know, you don't have to burn things. You could rip things up. You could bury things. You could just write out a prayer and recite it. Write out a manifesto and recite that, or burn it or rip it up or bury it or whatever. Put it under your pillow. I don't know, Priya, whatever feels right to you. It doesn't have to be elaborate. It doesn't have to be long, but it's going to help signal to yourself that yes, this is an end. And it is when we are able to signal endings to ourselves that we are able to prepare ourselves for beginnings. It's that idea of closing a door so that we can be ready for the next door to open. So Priya, I really want to encourage a ritual, whatever that looks like to you. And by the way, this could be multiple rituals. And this could be a ritual that you do a couple of times. You know, letting go truly is a process. We often think that letting go is a once and done thing, where we say, oh, I burned those letters, done with that, never have to think about it again. Or we say, yep, I'm not with him, I've moved on, it's done, I've let go. But letting go is not, or at least it often is not, a once and done thing. Letting go is often a real process. And so even when we think that we have completely let something go, oh, I'm over that, I let that go, it's done, we can find that maybe we haven't completely let go of things. Maybe we'll find ourselves missing the person. Maybe we'll find ourselves wishing that we could call them up, or maybe they'll contact us and it will bring up a flood of emotions. That's all okay. That's part of the letting go process. And so Priya, if you conduct your ritual and then you find yourself a few days later missing him and saying, oh man, I really wish things had worked out, I want to encourage you not to beat yourself up for that and not to judge yourself for that, because that is part of the letting go process. Know that it is a process, and that during this process, you're going to have moments of saying, "Aw, I miss him." You know, even if he was disrespectful and lied to you and it didn't work out and you're glad about that, you can still have moments of missing him, wishing things had worked out differently. That's all okay. That's part of the letting go process. And so, Priya, I encourage you to not beat yourself up if or when you have those moments. Those are all okay, and those are part of the process. I also want to encourage for you, Priya, you may want to do some clearing of your space. As a matter of fact, you may want to ritualize this. This may be a ritual that you may want to conduct. But cleaning and clearing is another step on the 7-way path. And this is going to allow you to signal to yourself that you are ready to clear out old energy and bring in new energy. You are ready to get rid of the old and to bring in the new. You are ready to clear out and let go of what no longer serves you and to welcome in new energy. Maybe a new mindset, maybe a new way of being and moving in the world. Whatever it might be, maybe an increased level of self-worth. whatever it might be, and you can just clean for the sake of cleaning, but cleaning and clearing with the intention of clearing out the old and bringing in the new is oftentimes helpful during the heartbreak process, and helpful in terms of welcoming in that new energy and letting go of the old. It's a signal that says, I'm ready to let go. Even if there are things that you're still holding on to, that's okay. But signaling that you are invested in that process and that your intention is to engage in that process, Priya. So doing some letting go. What else? So many recommendations. Also on the 7-way path is the encouragement to consider maybe doing some journaling, maybe doing some writing out about it. I think this may be especially helpful for you since you don't have anyone to talk to about this, and since you haven't told anyone, maybe because you've been afraid of the judgment of others, but you always have the ability to work with yourself and to support yourself, and journaling is a wonderful way to do that. So I do encourage you to maybe do some journaling. I don't know if you're a journaler, Priya, but if that thought resonates with you, you may want to give it a try and just, write about the experience. Maybe write about things that you've learned from it. Maybe write about ways that you want to have a different experience in the future. Maybe ways that you feel worthy. Write out a list of reasons why you're worthy and what's so great about you. Maybe even writing out a list of qualities that you would like in a partner. But just putting pen to paper can be very therapeutic. As a matter of fact, studies have shown, studies have shown, scientifically, studies have shown that writing in a journal is oftentimes just as effective or even more effective than talking with a counselor. Because oftentimes when we talk with a counselor or a friend, we do have this fear of judgment, but when it's you and just you writing down things on the page, writing out your true feelings, it's just you. So there's no one else to fear judgment from. So I encourage you, Priya, to give that a try. You may find that it really resonates with you. And here's the worst case scenario. You try it and you hate it and you throw the paper, recycle or burn the paper. Toss it away. No one ever has to read it because you don't need to save the pages. When you journal, you don't have to save the pages. So I do encourage giving that a try. In your situation, Priya, it may be helpful for you. Those are just a few recommendations on helping you to move through this experience, to take some action to help you to release and let go. And again, remembering above all that this is a process, being gentle with yourself and releasing judgment of yourself. Priya, I can understand your fear of being judged for this kind of situation and this experience. And I want to encourage you to work to release judgment of yourself. What anyone else might think is anyone else's choice. But what is most important is what you think and how you feel about yourself in the situation. And so I want to encourage you to release judgment of yourself. For me, looking back on my situation, it's been so many years that I really don't feel any judgment towards myself and my actions. Would I do things differently now? Yes. And I am also a different person now. I am 18 years older. Like I said, I'd have to do the math. It's like somewhere between 17 and 18, maybe 16, maybe 19, whatever. Doesn't matter. What does matter is that I am no longer the same person. And if I were faced with that situation again, I know without a doubt, 100%, I would not do the same things. I would not act in the same way. And so that experience served its purpose for me. One of the things it did for me was allow me to see that, the thing I thought I would never ever do, yeah, I did it. And so it was really beneficial for me because it has strengthened that compassion muscle for me to be able to see for you, Priya, that yes, this is okay, and to have compassion and release judgment of you. And so I want to encourage you to do the same for yourself, Priya. This will get easier as time goes on, and I want to encourage you to work to release judgment of yourself. Priya, I'm going to send some Reiki to you for the letting go, for the mending of your broken heart, and for the increasing of your self-worth, and for releasing judgment. All of those things. That's a lot of things. I'm going to send Reiki to all of those things. And to everyone listening, I'm going to send Reiki to all of us for our letting go, for increasing our self-worth, and for releasing judgment of ourselves too, for anything that maybe we have done that we never thought that we would do, and things that maybe we are afraid of being judged for. So, of course, as always, if you don't want the Reiki, don't worry, it will not go to you. But please join me in taking 3 deep cleansing breaths to set sacred space. Thank you. So, Priya, very clearly when I started to send Reiki, I saw the image of a lantern. And it was like a turning on of a light. And the message here was that this is not like turning on a light. Letting go is not like turning on the light. It's on, it's off. It's on, it's off. It doesn't work that way. It's actually maybe more like a flickering candle in which the flame flickers. Maybe, a candle, the flame grows, it decreases. So recognize, Priya, that this is a process, and it's not like you're going to flip a switch and suddenly you're going to be all over with it and done. You will wash your hands of the situation and forget about it. It doesn't work that way. So I encourage you to think of this experience, the letting go of it, as maybe more like a candle than a light switch. And too, when we blow out a candle, there's smoke that lingers. And so it's still having an effect even after we blow it out. Okay, Oh, Priya, this is beautiful. So the Celtic Dragon Tarot card that has very clearly, very insistently, very strongly popped out for you, it flew out, Priya, is strength. Beautiful. So in this card is the image of a woman with a dragon. And you know, Priya, what I'm getting from this card is just the encouragement to draw upon your inner strength. Now, this is actually, I'm having the memory right now, this is actually one of the recommendations in my book, Standing Like the Stones. So I want to encourage you to think about the times in the past when you have maybe had a broken heart and healed over that, when you've had that experience and how you got through it. Priya, I want to encourage you to dwell on, and this may be a great thing for you to journal about, Priya, to really think about your own inner strength, the times when you have overcome challenges and difficulties, including with heartbreak. I mean, I don't know, Priya. I'm assuming that you've had previous heartbreak just because you're human, and most of us have had multiple heartbreaks in our lives. And so I want to encourage you to think about those times. Think about how you overcame them. And you may even want to think about other times in your life that does not have to do with heartbreak, but that when you overcame things. And to do this with the intention of recognizing your inner strength and realizing, Priya, that you are so much stronger than you are probably giving yourself credit for. So I know it's been incredibly hard for you dealing with this, especially keeping it to yourself. And I also know that you are very strong. Very strong indeed. You know, I'm also getting from this card, Priya, the encouragement to call upon support. You've done that with this question, which is wonderful. So thank you, Priya. But to also call upon your angels, your guides. The dragons are encouraging me to tell you to call upon them, call upon the dragons, call upon all of the unseen assistance that we have. And also, Priya, the encouragement here to call upon the seen assistance. So that means don't be afraid to reach out to a counselor. Don't be afraid to reach out to a friend. I want to encourage you to recognize that there is support all around you, and that, yes, maybe you're afraid of being judged, and I want to encourage you to still consider reaching out if you feel so called to seek support of others, the seen, in addition to your unseen guides, angels, and the great universe. Priya, I'm going to pull one more card for you. I'm going to pull an Archangel card. Let's see what the Archangels have to say about this situation, Priya. Above all, I want to encourage you to have self-love and compassion for yourself, to recognize that you are worthy, that you are deserving, that you do deserve better. Okay, so the card that has very clearly popped out for you from the Archangel deck is Career Transition. This is funny, Priya. Career Transition. Archangel Shamuel says, your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. Now, you may be thinking, okay, what does this have to do with mending a broken heart? Here's the thing. Oftentimes, when we work on ourselves energetically in one area of our life, other areas are affected. And so what that means is that, Priya, as you mend your broken heart, as you heal from this experience, don't be surprised if this has effects in other areas of your life. So don't be surprised if this opens up new possibilities and opportunities for you in other areas that have nothing to do with love. This very well can happen, because as we clean and clear away, as we let go, as we welcome in the new, we oftentimes are letting go of other things in all kinds of ways. We are welcoming in all kinds of new. And so, Priya, I want to encourage you not to be surprised if working through this experience, letting go, mending that broken heart, leads to changes in other areas of your life too. Wonderful, Priya. I send you blessings and best wishes. I send all of us blessings and best wishes for mending our own broken hearts, and above all, recognizing that healing is a process. So knowing that it does take time, and to be gentle with ourselves during the process, and to recognize that it's okay if it takes time. Blessings and best wishes to all of you. By the way, I mentioned my book, Standing Like the Stones. If you have not yet gotten that book, please do. This is part of my Life Change Encouragement Kit. It is a free kit that I am so excited to give away. I'm giving it away for free because the information in the book, helping you to not only survive, but to also thrive during life changes, is so important that I have to give it away. I mean, I can't keep it to myself. These are things that I want everyone to know to help you through your life changes. So definitely, Priya, it will help you with this experience. And for anyone listening, if you have not gotten that book yet, the link is in the notes. Thank you all so much. I send you blessings and best wishes for your journey. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Ask the Stones. If you have a question for Ask the Stones, please send me an email at christian@standingstoneshealing.com or connect with me on Facebook at Standing Stones Healing. Thank you, and best wishes for your journey.